Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Open Up. Mike, I know it's been a while, I haven't been here. RC.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Always in my left. And today I wanted to start my first day back with something that's been going on in the news, if anybody has been following or heard about the Brittney Griner situation in Russia. Now, if none of you have heard about that yet, or have been reading, it states that Brittney Griner flew from the United States to Russia, and when she got to Russia and was getting bag checked, she had apparently put hash oil.
Yeah, she had some cartridges. Yeah,
in her luggage, and that's what started this whole. Now she's been in. I think she's been in Russian prison for about 140 or 160 days.
Since February, I think.
Yes,
since February.
Which is, it's a long time. I know now that the United States government is saying that she was wrongfully detained, and now are fighting to get Brittney Griner back to the United States.
Yeah, but the problem is with that is because she already pleaded guilty. So
yes, this morning, if you didn't hear,
Yeah.
she pleaded guilty to the transportation of large-scale drugs.
Yeah, which is they keep saying it's just cartridges. So it could be like 2 or it could be 25. We don't really know. There's no specifics on that.
Yeah, there's no specifics on how much she had, but according to what it was said to be, was large-scale transportation of drugs, which, I mean, wrongfully detained or
Yeah, I think that's a bunch of bullshit because listen,
it is. It's kind of hard.
And here's what gets me kind of crazy because, in the U.S., first of all, you have people who complain about living here, and think about living somewhere else. And laws are laws. You know what I mean? And over here, there's ways where you can get lawyers and you could negotiate and you can move, have some compassion and do different things. But you're in another country, and most countries in the world, like Russia and Iran, Iraq, and those Eastern European bloc countries or those South Asian countries, they're tough. Their laws are black and white. You know what I'm saying? And there's, I know in some countries you get caught with drugs, you get beheaded, like in Iran.
Exactly.
So you go to a country. Yes, she was there a few times because she would go play basketball.
Yes. She's
over the
a
summer.
Big WNBA player. If nobody knows, she plays for the Mercury Suns, I believe.
Yeah, and she, so she brought this back. I'm sure that she knows, she's aware of the laws. I'm sure she's not that ignorant of the laws because she's been over there more than once. So she's kind of a regular. You know what I mean? So and now, for her to want to, call the U.S. government to get her out.
Let's say what it is. Let's start from the top. Back when we were young, there was a thing called you do the crime, you do the time. Okay?
Yeah.
So what we want to know, and what our conversation is basically about, is what was she thinking? Was she thinking that she's a big superstar and I can just travel with these cartridges filled of hash oil, which is a drug, and when I get to where I'm going, I'm not going to get in trouble, and if somebody finds out, they're just going to let me go? And then then you have to think, she now claims in a statement or a letter that she didn't know that she had the cartridges in her luggage, which, if anybody knows and they've been somewhere, you know exactly what you're packing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like, oh, did I pack my lipstick or not? No.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, it fell off the counter and rolled into my luggage, and now I have 2 to 20 cartridges of hash oil in my luggage. And what I want to get down to is the fact that now, I mean, I'm not saying that she was wrongfully accused or held, because I don't know the particulars of how much she had on her. But again, I'm pretty sure everybody in the world should know, if you attempt to take anything illegal through an airport or checkpoint, you must know that something could go wrong.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. So it's not like we have more lenient laws. And that's what people here don't understand. It's like these are not countries like the U.S. You know what I'm saying? Russia, there is zero tolerance. It doesn't matter what it is.
Well,
they don't
look
care.
at what we were going through just a couple months ago.
Yeah, exactly. And then for her to say, well, come help me. I read a tweet the other day, and someone said, well, if it was LeBron James, he'd be home.
Okay, see, this is where I get upset, because first off, let's open up the whole Brittney Griner playbook. First off, Brittney Griner was so for killing the what was it? The national anthem at basketball games.
Yes.
She was so for it. She is 100% of minority shootings, justice for wrongfully incarcerated and people that were shot wrongfully from the police. She's all about that. But then in a letter that she had wrote about 3 days ago to President Biden asking for his help. Now, you were against what they were talking about, but now you're crying for help because you obviously did something wrong and you got caught. And now what they're saying is the reason that Brittney Griner had pleaded guilty is because they needed a plea, so that way the United States government and the Russian government could coexist with a trade or a prisoner for prisoner switch to get Brittney Griner back.
Yeah.
Now, all I'm asking is, if I would have went on vacation and had a dime bag on me and got caught in customs and was thrown in jail, would I be allowed to write Biden a letter saying, I know shit's going on with your life, but can you get me back because I did something wrong and I need help? And then the whole LeBron thing. If I was LeBron James, I would have been out already. Honey, if you were LeBron James, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have done something that dumb to bring drugs across borders. LeBron James doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Who do we know of that bring drugs on planes or across customs? People that don't care, drug dealers, and people that try to get away with shit and party somewhere else. So you have to look at all the facts. She brought this stuff with her. She can't say that somebody planted it on her. She can't say I didn't know and I didn't mean to break any rules, because shit, last time I checked, when I said I didn't mean it, I still got in trouble. So this is where my conversation comes down. Is it because she's an athlete? Is it because she was one of the first to come out and say that she was gay and she was all about her sexuality, but then going back to saying that she was trying to destroy the national anthem at pro games, and then on her side about being against the government, about the police, about shootings, mass shootings, intentional shootings as they would call it, to minorities. But then you want a handout and asking them to help you when you did something wrong.
Yeah, that's BS. You can't go against the country that's obviously making you some money because you're a pro athlete. You can't say F you to the U.S. on certain things and say we're doing a bad job, and then once you get in trouble, now you're begging for their help. You know what I'm saying? And it just doesn't work like that, regardless of who you are. And there's a ton of other people incarcerated around the world who are Americans who don't have this kind of publicity to try to get out of their incarceration.
They were talking about people in Russia that have been there for 6-7 years.
That's what I'm saying.
And hasn't even done anything as what Brittney Griner done.
Exactly.
I've gotten in trouble for doing less, not even doing anything, and I'm getting in trouble. She knowingly transferred. I mean, anywhere I look, that's a crime. Transferring drugs.
Yeah, it's any airport you go to, it's illegal. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no exceptions.
And then the cop out to say, if I was LeBron James, but think about it. If you were LeBron James, would you put yourself in that situation?
Yeah.
I mean, you did this to yourself. And again, I'm kind of one-sided as of right now because I don't know 100%. Maybe she had one cartridge, and it is wrongfully detained from the Russian police because.
But then again, even if it is one cartridge, that's still not wrongfully detained because if there's a zero tolerance, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she thought she could get away with it, and now she can't. So now it's big bar on steel. Please help me. Get me a pardon.
Get me a pardon. And what I'm upset at is they want to do a trade.
Yeah,
They
and
wanna do
a terrible trade at that.
Exactly. What do we know about this trade going on? I mean, this ain't the NBA. We know details on everything. This is real life. Is this this person that we are letting out of prison for? I'm gonna just say, a drug dealer, because that's what the charges are basically for.
For her,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, for her. But what if this guy killed tens of people, hundreds of people?
Yeah,
What if this guy did a bomb? I don't know this guy. I don't know 100%.
Listen, his nickname is the Merchant of Death.
So that's what I'm saying. You're giving up somebody that's actually, murdered people.
Yeah.
And done horrible stuff. You're gonna let that person walk for somebody that knowingly took drugs across a border and got caught. I mean, now we're going backwards. Who's doing this picking and choosing?
That's what I'm saying. And it's, if you look at the situation, and what it's kind of like a slap in the face to everybody else who's been detained over there.
Exactly.
And who couldn't get a letter of return from the White House, because I'm sure they've tried, and who have been ignored. But all of a sudden you have an athlete who goes over there, and who's not just new over there. She's been over there quite a few times.
Yes, she played she played basketball.
I'm going to say the whole naive attempt has gone out the window, because she's been there more than once.
But what I'm having a problem with is now we're having all these forums and meetings about bring Britney back. She doesn't, and I'm not understanding if these people actually know the whole details of what's going on. They're wanting to bring her back. Great, that's wonderful. But do you not realize that she had drugs?
That's exactly, you're right.
And then what do we do for the people that's gotten arrested for having 20 bags on them, and now places where they now live, marijuana's legal? I mean, we're not fighting to get these people out of jail.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's because the people who want her out, these are the type of people that think about, if she's an American, you should help her out, and we complain about our country, this and that, but you still should help. Well, that's not how the world works, And these people don't care about that. They're all about their feelings, and maybe this will help. But that's not how it goes. Russia has a zero tolerance. You know what I'm saying? She was caught red-handed. Now listen, I don't want to see anybody trapped away in another country for years. Okay, I don't want that. But the fact of the matter is, it's real clear evidence that it happened.
She had it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not like it was planted.
And she pleaded guilty to
And
that.
she pleaded guilty because she knew it was hers, and she had it in her luggage. And when she went through customs, they found it and they detained her, which any TSA or airport anywhere here would do. If you were caught with anything in your luggage as you're trying to travel, they are detaining you and taking you away.
Exactly. And then on top of all this, they wanted to make some kind of trade. So obviously, there's other people, regular civilians, American civilians over there that aren't really, I hate to use this term, but aren't worth as much as she is, because she's an athlete.
That's actually what they're saying.
So they want to barter with her
as much because she plays basketball.
Yeah, for both countries.
So people, like I said, there's still people that've been there like 6 to 8 years. She's been there for 7 months, and she's already gotten through to the president. The president's already talking about things to get her back. And I mean, like, I just don't see where the priorities are.
And even
I know for one thing, if that was one of us,
it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't even be on the news.
It wouldn't.
And that's the fact of it. So let's play this out. So let's say we get a chance to barter with her, and we do exchange prisoners. Well, Russia is going to want one of their high-profile people back, like the Merchant of Death, right?
Yes, of course.
So now he gets back. He goes to Russia. Guess what? He gets right back in the swing of things. Somewhere in some country, a bunch of people die because of him. So is it worth it?
Is that worth it for one a WNBA player?
Exactly.
And then, like I said, with all these rallies that they're having now, and her wife, because she is married, her wife spoke out and said that she's disappointed in the government for taking so long.
See, that's nonsense.
Why not be disappointed in your wife who took the drugs with her? Why are you not disappointed in the choices that she made to put her in this predicament? And then you're wanting help from everywhere else, crying. But then you look at the normal person. Like I said, me and RC are from New York. We have friends that have gone through this. What about the other baby mamas that lost their baby daddies for 10 to 15 years on drug charges just being in the United States.
Exactly.
They're not. I mean, they're crying at home, but they know the right from wrong. They know they're not gonna be sitting there saying, "Oh, my husband needs to come home because it was just a one-time thing." No,
Yeah,
they don't
it doesn't
look
work.
at it like
It doesn't
that.
work like
so
that.
So why should we all have to work like look at it like that?
Yeah, and you can't just pick specific people out of the air like that because obviously it's not
picking
fair.
and choosing. Now, then we get to the top of the ranks. Who is these people picking and choosing? What does she have to offer that she needs to be saved?
Exactly, and obviously the people who want her back are like, "We'll bring her home." Well, guess what? Is she more important than inflation? Is she more important than rising gas prices? Is she more important than an economy going down? I don't think so.
And that's the thing. In her letter, she writes to Biden, "I know a lot of stuff is going on over here. Just don't forget about it. Us over in Russia." Why should we? It's. Now, let's say it was something else. What if she were accidentally? Because now you see all these. I feel like it's every other week you're seeing one of these professionals, get behind the wheel and kill somebody drunk driving. It just happened with in my favorite sport, NASCAR.
So what if that happened?
We had a guy that he's known to party. He's known to party. Clint Boyer. He's known to be a partier. Just recently, about a month and a half ago, that nobody's heard.
I didn't even know that.
He was just.
No idea.
He's the commentator now on NASCAR. Not anymore. Obviously, they had replaced him with Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton. But he was great. He was a great friend of Jeff Gordon's. They always had a great time together. Everybody knew everybody knew Boyer was a partier. He always partied. And a month ago, he was behind the wheel, unfortunately, and he had struck somebody and killed somebody. So, we do see this in the world where these high-profile players get away with murder.
Yeah, but still, he still lost his job, right? So
he was retired already.
Okay,
he was retired. He lost his commentating.
Okay, so let's go
speak anymore.
So there's got to be consequences to pay, and everybody's always complaining about equal this, equal that. Well, if you're a high profile athlete or someone who's famous, you shouldn't get different treatment than somebody who's an average American.
And because you're a high profile, don't you think people like the media? We know now the people they're after you. They're making sure that they can catch you with something to make a story, make a headline. That's what the media's job is, to get the best, juiciest story and throw it out there for people to bait on and grab up and love. And that's what this is. But the fact that we're fighting to get her back over here, now I have a question. If this all goes through and Brittney Griner does come back to the USA, what happens to her? Is it a far forgotten note?
Yeah,
I
think so.
Back to play basketball,
probably,
life, like nobody else would be able to do if they had drugs.
And the best question of all is, if she comes back here, would she be in trouble for that? And they're probably going to say no because it wasn't here in the U.S.
But you have to realize she left the U.S. with these drugs on her. Granted, we know that these high profile, they get sometimes on these private planes where they just walk on and go. But again, the law states if you take any type of paraphernalia across borders that do not legalize whatever you have, it's a felony. It's a drug charge. So she left here with that drug. It just so happens to get away with it here and then get found in Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
Now she's gonna get sent back here. Does she get any discipline? Does the NBA look at this and say, because the NBA has a drug policy?
Yeah, it does. So that's
does
why
she get to just get scot-free clean? Is what my question is. If we're doing all of this to get her back here, and she's just gonna live a normal life, what does that show her? That shows her, damn, if I get in trouble, I'm just gonna yell. Yeah,
I can get away with anything,
and I'm gonna be good. And that's what a lot of these high-profile actors, players, professional athletes, that's a lot of what they did. What they think. I'm this big, I'm not going to get in trouble.
Yeah, that you're bigger than the laws.
That you're bigger than the law, regardless of what country you're in. You're bigger than the law. And what does that show everybody else?
Yeah,
that we're really worthless because they're not going to do that for us.
Think about all the people that we we detain from Russia over here for doing, obviously spying or whatever else the case may be. But we have them, and we say no, that we're not going to, give you guys back your citizen. So now, on the other hand, we want ours back, and only one of many who don't even have a chance to even, have a chance to come home.
And again, because she's such a superstar, she gets this platform. But like you said, the people that aren't as big,
yes,
they're still over there. You think? I'm pretty sure they've written hundreds of letters saying, "Help, please,
probably
get me out."
More than likely.
But then this Brittney Griner breaks the law, and her letter goes straight to Biden.
Yeah, and not only that, it's all over the news. So it's inescapable now.
And then you got ESPN, saying outside the lines, all this, wrongfully detained. Do they have more information than we get? ESPN? I know if it's, the government and the lawyers, they'll have information that they can't say. But now we're talking about ESPN. I'm pretty sure ESPN has the same internet and notes that I have. So
that's a good question.
Do they know that she had this hash oil on her, which is illegal, and she brought over to another country? Or do they know that it was one cartridge and we're not getting all the information? That's what I understand. What I'm getting out of this is, regardless of what you do as a high-profile person, you can get away with it. That's all I'm getting out of it.
Yeah, and sometimes it actually works out like that. So that's also a problem, But when the White House says, "Oh, she's wrongfully detained," how was she wrongfully detained? She brought an illegal substance into a country that has absolutely no tolerance for it.
Exactly. She took it.
So why is she wrongfully detained?
Because she didn't get planted. It wasn't planted.
It wasn't planted, and they say that to lighten the thing like it's not a big deal. They state things like that.
Deal. I'm just talking about it. Nowadays, you can get arrested for having a 20 bag of marijuana in certain places. Certain places in the United States.
In the United States, exactly.
Go to jail for that.
You can't fly around the U.S. with pot. You can't do it.
No, you cannot do that. And the fact that she knowingly, because I'm not taking. I didn't know I put that in there. I'm not taking that.
No, come on.
No way that I'm taking that. You put something in your bag, knowing it was legal, and didn't even know it was there.
Here's what happened. She thought, because she's flown to Russia, however many times. She figured thought she had the layout of the land, layout of security.
Yeah, she was gonna be fine.
Yeah, if I fly private or commercial, however she flew there, and she gets in there, okay, this is how I'm gonna do it. It'll be no big deal. But guess what? It only takes that one time for them to change their protocol or something.
Yeah, somebody could have had a bad day.
Yeah,
somebody could have had a bad day and just saw you and said, "What's in your bag?"
And now
and that's how I feel like
happens.
it is when I travel. Every time I travel. 100%. I've traveled a lot, people. I've traveled a lot. And every time I go through security check, I always get pulled in the back room.
Yeah.
No matter what, I always get pulled in the back room. And
which is
it's
crazy.
upsetting. It's upsetting because I know
is that profiling? I mean, I don't know what that would be.
Oh, I would say it would be
it's
profiling.
Possible.
But again, we I can't get into people's heads. I don't know what they're doing. But this woman, I mean, she just... To carry drugs on an airplane and to another country, I mean, you have to have some big balls on you.
Yeah, because
you should just know if you get caught. It's just like when me and my friends went to Mexico. I made sure when we came back, don't make sure everybody's pockets are clean, because the one thing you do not want to do is get arrested in Mexico.
Yes.
That is
You'll
the
disappear.
One thing
Nobody will know you are.
You want to know in your life. If anybody's going to Mexico, do not try to get arrested or mess with any cops out there. They're not on your side. Okay? So me knowing this, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I might get in trouble for something stupid.
Listen, all that's common knowledge, man.
It is.
You ask anybody on the street, and they're going to tell you, you can't fly with drugs on an airplane. Doesn't matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? Especially to places like Russia, because of what it is. They're going to say this is the law, and that's it, and there's no way around it.
And you're not from there.
Yeah.
So you get no breaks.
Exactly. I mean,
and this is Russia, who we just had problems with.
And
you think
you're in the midst of a war.
Yeah, you think you're going to get leeway? They're going to be like, oh, look at this. Boom.
They don't care less. Good. And now, and the worst part about all this is that now they have this WNBA star who they're trying to barter with to get people out of prison that are in prison here for a very good reason.
Yes.
Very, very good reason.
And now that you just say it, think about it. Could it have been a setup? Could somebody said, you know what, that we know that she's going to be here and we know how she is because she's been here before, and we need to get one of our friends back?
It's possible. It is possible.
Anything is possible. It's just the audacity that she could think that she would have got away with it. That's all. That's what bothers me the most. That, I mean, you obviously know it's illegal. You obviously know it's wrong, but yet you still try to do it.
Exactly. And that's shame on you, because
shame on you.
You
100%.
probably really believe she can get away with it. You know what I mean? So now the question is, will Biden actually entertain this idea?
And I think he will. That's what the
and
problem.
barter with her.
I think he will.
But he's going to let a serious criminal loose.
Exactly. For somebody that entertains us.
Exactly. She's not in the government. She doesn't work for the military. She doesn't have any specific skill set besides dribbling a basketball. So she's absolutely no use to the government or the country, for that matter. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to sound harsh. But it's the truth.
Just like me. If I got caught over there, I'm useless to whatever it needs to happen down here.
Exactly.
I'm not a Senate. I'm not part of the Senate. I'm not part of presidential campaigns or anything like that.
You're 100% right.
I'm useless. They leave me. They leave me and never to be seen again. My family cries the rest of their life. But with a high-profile athlete, I mean, we're on front page news. We're on TV.
Yeah.
Biden's talking about it. I mean, where does that show?
So I'm gonna tell you what, though. There's gonna be a lot of people who obviously want this to happen.
Oh yes.
And there'll be somewhat an amount of people who want this to happen, and if it goes through, be happy. But it's gonna be a whole bunch of other people who are gonna be upset because your priorities are this, considering the way your economy's running.
Man. Your number one priority is forget about inflation, forget about gas prices, forget about baby formula. Let's get the WNBA star who took drugs over a border to another country and get her out.
Yeah, she wasn't kidnapped. She wasn't set up. She purposely brought it with her, and
that would scare the hell out of me even more, knowing that I went to another country with it.
I know, especially a country like that, especially a country like Russia.
Yeah, what you think they're not going to just send you back home?
No, exactly. You know, and now they're saying what she's got 10 years of labor camp.
And let me tell everybody what the charge was is 10 years for large scale transportation of drugs.
Yeah, and I don't know what they consider to be large scale. Like we said earlier, you know, seriously, it could be one cartridge, and to them is large scale. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's not our country. It's not our laws.
It's not my call. I'm not part of that.
You know what I mean?
They can do whatever they want over there.
It has nothing to do with our government.
That's why I stay here.
Exactly.
But you know, for people that travel, I mean, shit, you've done it before. You know what you can get away with and what you can't. And nowadays, you can't get away with anything.
No.
Nowadays, you can't get away with anything. Everything is known.
You know what I really think really chaps my ass is how she disrespects the U.S. and then all of a sudden when she's in trouble, she pleads and says, "Please get me out."
Yes, anti-national anthem at games, all about minority shootings, which is a good thing, but when you put your platform to go against it, now you need that organization. Now that platform that you want to get, that platform you use to go against these people, now you're asking them for help.
Yeah,
I don't. It's a little.
And even if, let's say he does try to go and pardon her, now you're just allowing people who blatantly disrespect the country, be able to go places, get in trouble, and then be brought home.
Well, that's what you're saying. You're saying
it's okay.
If you're big, if you're big and you're known, you just need to whine and cry, and you're first on the list.
Yeah, and it's complete BS. It is complete BS. You know what I'm saying? Like we said before, we don't want to see anybody rot away in another country.
And but especially wrongfully accused.
Yeah, I still understand how she's wrongfully accused.
Yeah, I just don't understand the wording. How is she accused wrongfully when she was the one that was, in hand and touching with what she had?
She brought it with her.
Yeah, and then the fact that you pleaded guilty, you knew you had it. make everything quicker. You pleaded guilty, so you can get this whole trade bartering thing on. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anybody. I don't know, guys. You let us know. You comment, please. I mean, I don't know if I'm going a little too far.
No, I don't think
this,
so. And I think a lot of people
wrong.
feel the same. I think a lot of people feel the same way.
I just feel like, man, you're just giving all these people, you know, just incentive to do wrong.
Yes, you're right.
It's
to do wrong because of your occupation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously, yes. And there's probably somebody watching this who's going to be like, well, if that was a government official, it'd be different. You're right. It probably would be different.
100%.
But that person is probably, I wouldn't say always vital, but is a part of the government. So there's different situations, you know what I'm saying? And this wrongfully detained, why is it wrongfully? Because she got caught with, let's say,
because she got caught. That's right.
4 vials, and over here it's not a big deal. You're right. It's not a big deal over here. But guess what? Over there it is a big deal.
Oh,
you know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
down south it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's down south it's a big deal.
Yeah, you can't go. I mean, you know, California, they're not going to bother you. It's legal.
Yeah.
You know, Denver, they're not going to bother you. It's legal.
But that's also, if you think about it, it's also undermining their rules and regulations when we say things like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't see, listen, to be honest with you, I don't see them making a trade for her.
I hope it's just boss smoke, too.
Well, yeah, because you know what? I mean, listen, if they make this trade for her and they push her enough, Putin's going to want important people back.
Well, why wouldn't you? Again,
Yeah.
listen,
And that's the problem.
This is like just like any other sports team. When you're trading, you're gonna want the most you can get for something that you know somebody else wants very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just common knowledge. Putin's got a TV.
Of course.
He's got
knows.
media. He knows that for some reason everybody's backing Brittney Griner, and even Biden is backing Brittney Griner. So if Putin knows, hey, you know, this must be a big scale person over here, I'm going to use that against him.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly
Just like
right.
any NBA team, any NFL team, any MLS team, any baseball team would do when you're trading.
Yeah.
You're going to want the most back for your return, especially if you know that person that you're trading is wanted, is in high demand. And for some reason, Brittney Griner is in high demand.
Yeah, and I think
don't
because
make no sense, but
it doesn't make any sense. But obviously, she had enough status to be noticed and put all over the media, so that's what, you know, blows it up and helps a lot. But if we make that trade, we lose because he's going to get someone back who goes out and
does whatever he needs to do for his country.
For a criminal, and he's a criminal.
Yeah, and he's a criminal. Obviously, he was sent here for a reason, and he was locked up for a reason. Same thing Brittney Griner was. She was over there for a reason. She did something bad, and she got locked up for a reason.
Yeah.
What's the difference between A and B?
There is no difference, and you know, from my point of view, which probably doesn't mean anything, but from my point of view,
We mean nothing.
you know, this is something that she's just going to have to ride out.
I feel the same way, and again, all this would show if she did get released and traded and came back home. All this would show is that the United States, as of right now, our priorities are in shambles.
That's what I'm saying. It'll definitely.
Creek.
It will
We are
definitely.
worried about somebody who committed a crime more than we are our young babies with no food. The fact that most people can't travel because gas prices are so high, and most people live in a closet because the inflation of prices just went crazy.
Yeah, it's true. And you know, what would this do to our international relations? You know what I mean? Because, you know, even though it's between us and Russia right now with this whole situation, other countries see this too. You know? So, I mean, and who knows? There could be letters and there could be things every day from people all over the world who are detained in other countries who want to get out. But like you said, we don't hear about those people.
We don't.
You know
And it's sad because they have families too. And Brittney Griner has a wife who is disappointed in the government.
Yeah, well,
For
you know what? Get in line.
Yeah, exactly.
How's that for
Get
you?
in
Get in line.
And please put your priorities straight and put the blame where it should be. I mean, I keep going back to it. Back when we were young, man, we knew if we did the crime, that if we got caught, we would do the time.
Like in most places.
Like everywhere. And we were taught that when I was very young. And if I didn't want to go to jail or be in any situation like that, I'd make sure I knew what I had and where I was. It's just common sense.
I think, obviously, people make mistakes. I get that. She made a pretty big mistake in a pretty bad place.
People make mistakes all the time, and everybody else has to deal with them.
Yeah.
I've dealt with mistakes in my life. Couple of them that weren't even my fault, and I've dealt with them, and I've subsided, grown bigger, and did the right thing. RC. We all have things that we've done, but we have to deal with.
Yeah. And she's got money, get a lawyer.
Yeah, you got money, get a lawyer. If you can't, I mean, you know what you were doing. We don't have the same opportunities as she does, but it doesn't mean that we're worth less than she is.
And I'm just waiting, and I hate to even say this above, but I'm waiting for some news outlet to say it's because they're racist or against LGBTQ or something to that point to make it sting.
It'll be another excuse.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for that to come out.
Why she did what she did.
Yeah, and if they use that, that's absolutely ridiculous. But guess what? You heard it here first.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
You did hear here first. Remember, LGBTQ.
LGBTQ, yeah. LGBTQ.
They get a whole month to celebrate. Why veterans get a day.
That's
Okay.
That's a whole other situation.
I mean, priorities. I don't bash anybody. I have family members the same way as everybody else does. But in my 42 years of experience on this earth, United States priorities are way out of line.
They're out of line. Unless you're the people who are in the government.
Unless you're the top of the
and
totem
you're
pole.
Getting what you want.
Remember, top of the totem pole, shit rolls downhill.
Yeah, they're getting what they want, but it doesn't matter for the rest of us. We have to deal with whatever's left over. So.
Yes, and it scares me enough to know that if something ever happened bad to me and I couldn't get out of it, that
you don't have a shot in the dark.
Yeah, nobody has to back me up. So it makes me want to go home right now and put a basketball in my son's hand and say, just do as much as you can, because once you get big, you'll be able to do whatever you want. And it's not a message I would love to send to my children.
And obviously she's throwing away probably a pretty good career on top of all this.
And that's what I'm saying. If she does come back, does she get suspended? Does she get kicked out of the league?
I'm gonna say they don't do it because they're gonna say it wasn't here in the U.S.
Hey, it wasn't in the U.S.
But the publicity
for what everybody's saying, it's wrongfully accused.
Yeah.
So when she comes back here, they're going to parade her and celebrate her for doing something that she knowingly did and getting away with it.
Yeah, I see this being I don't, like I said before, I don't think it would be a smart idea to make those type of trades, especially for the high level people that
just to know that Biden is front row of this. It just gives us no more hope.
Listen, and here's the fact. Here's the fact. Okay, and they do things like this because she is black, because she's LGBTQ. He's putting attention to this because what are the midterms coming out? So everybody's just trying to secure votes.
Yeah, well, re-election's going to be coming up.
Yeah, so this is, obviously, I guarantee this, this will be something in their plan on why they would do it.
What a great man once said when he got into office is, it's get votes, and once you get into office, it's all about re-election. Nothing else matters.
That's exactly right. You don't want to let go of that power.
So,
but anyway, leave us. Let us know if you leave us a comment and let us know if you think this trade should happen. If you think that she should be traded for another person,
or let us know if it's just a whole train wreck in one sitting,
or if she should stay and do her time. I mean, that's really.
And I don't mind if they get her back over here, as long as she does her time here.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the problem. She's not going to.
Exactly. So then leave her over. I don't want to say leave her over there.
I don't want to see it.
And again, 100%, we don't know 100% what the entails of how much or what she had on her, but she needs to as they say, deal with it. You did something wrong. You have to deal with the repercussions of your actions.
And I don't really know how Russia works. I don't know if you get
I'm
time
pretty sure it
off
ain't
for
great.
good behavior. I'm not sure if that happens over there. You know what I mean? But I think it's gonna be curious to see what happens. See how this plays out.
Yeah, guys. Again, leave us a comment. Tell us how you feel about it. I mean, like I said, you already know where I stand, and you know where RC stands. I mean, are we a little bit off? You guys have a little information that we don't. Let us know how you feel. Hit that like button. Hit your share button. Get your friends into it, and just let it be what it is. And tell us how we're doing. We would love to hear that as well. So, guys. I enjoyed having this show with you. I'm gonna be going on my honeymoon this weekend, so I won't be back for another week. But like always, RC is always holding it down, and he's always got some good stuff for you guys to listen to. So don't forget us, all right? And I'm set and ready to hear what you guys need to say. So,
yeah, leave it below. Anyway,
leave comments, guys. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next go.
Toodaloo.
Later.